Elizabeth, thank you so much for talking to us at Hey
Thank
Guys.
you.
You're playing a real character that actually existed. So I assume that there's a certain amount of research that goes into that. Can you talk a little bit about maybe something that you found during your research that surprised you, stood out to you, that maybe you didn't know beforehand?
Yeah, I think when I first signed on to play the role, everybody was like, "Oh, you're playing the crazy first lady. You're playing the one that ended up in the mental institution," and that's kind of become her legacy in a lot of ways. Is what we remember about her is what her life ended up as. And when I read about her, I realized that she actually was so complex and so smart and well-educated and well-liked and outspoken and opinionated, and I just really grew to love her so much the more I read about her, and just the fact that she was all of those things in a time when it was not cool for a woman to be all of those things. So I was really excited to portray her.
Were you familiar with the novel before the film came into it?
I was aware of it, but I hadn't read it until I was sent the script, and as soon as I read the script, I went out and picked up the novel and read it in like 2 days. It was so fun. The script was so fun to read, and then the novel was so fun to read, and what surprised me so much was just how well the concept worked. I just was amazed by the fact that there wasn't a moment in reading it where I went, the whole time I was just so sucked into it. It was incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely this fantastical world, but it's really kind of based in reality. There's a lot of things that you would believe seeing, How important was it to you that you kind of portrayed this character who did exist, but in this fantasy world?
Well, for me, I wanted it to be grounded in reality in large part because that's my part of the film. I'm not really involved in a lot of the fantastical stuff of the vampires and the action. That sort of takes place away from me and what's happening in my world in the film. So I knew that, there were certain parts of her that were not going to be portrayed in this character because it's not the Mary Todd Lincoln story. So there were aspects of her that, had to be left out. But I wanted to make sure that I came into it knowing who she was and knowing what qualities were real to her and trying to be true to that as much as possible.
In the films, in my opinion, one of the film's most emotional moments, the moniker of Honest Abe is kind of called into question by Mary Todd. How important was, we love Abe Lincoln, he's this great character, but that scene really humanizes him in a way. How important was that scene to you?
That was very important. I think a lot of those early scenes where you see him kind of trying to figure out who he is and trying to become a man and all of that are really great. It kind of shows that he was human and so was she. They're both kind of flawed people and they were in real life as well. But he had so much integrity and such strength of character, and I think that was really important from the filmmaker's perspective to stay true to that and to have reverence for that and to keep that element in the film.
In today's society, we don't really get to see our leaders actually fighting, doing the actual physical fighting. Do you think audiences will react positively to seeing?
I think so. I think that's the fun thing about the movie is that we're taking this person who we've all turned into a legend, and just making that more of a sort of superhero-like story and taking it to the literal place. And I think that's what's so exciting about it. And hopefully people will be, cheering in the audience when these moments happen.
It's a blast.
Yeah.
Was there any second guessing on your part being a part of a movie about vampires? I mean, they're so popular. They're everywhere these days. Was there any do I want to get on this train here?
Not really. I mean, I guess I don't really think about those things most of the time until people start asking questions,
Sure.
And then you go, oh yeah, I guess there are a lot of movies about vampires, It didn't really come into question for me. It just was a really fun script with great talented people involved, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
Sure. Great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.